Oh, and we're live. It's Tuesday night, baby. It is Tuesday night, and I am not drinking wine this time. I'm drinking a LaCroix black raspberry. We're gonna stay of sound body and mind tonight because I was not happy with my performance last time. And that is a thing. I do watch these. No, I don't always, but a lot of the time I watch them back and try to get an idea of how this went, especially when it's lives like it is tonight. So whether you're watching this now or later, welcome. And tonight we are going to talk about restaurants in Colorado. It's one of my favorite topics to discuss on this channel in general. Some of my better performing videos are about restaurants, the best restaurants, best places to eat, best places to do this or that. So I'd like talking about it. I want to talk about the restaurants that were given Michelin stars this year, a couple months ago. So not super timely, but worth discussing for a few reasons. So something I like to talk about, something people on this channel seem to enjoy talking about as well. So a couple pieces of housekeeping off the top here. For those of you who have logged on before to the Tuesday night live streams, I cover a topic kind of every time, something that's going on in the Denver area. But really, you can go ahead and weigh in. I like to have people comment, ask questions about what we're talking about or about anything else. That's the point of doing this on a live. So feel free to throw a comment in the chat at any time. We'll discuss it. Promise you, we'll discuss it. And secondly, if you don't know, Sam Newman, Denver area realtor. I love doing this channel, but my goal is to help as many people buy or sell homes as they can in the next year, in the next lifetime. Doesn't have to be the next year, whenever. So if that's you, if you've found value from what I've put out, please don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is everywhere. It's all over. I'm fidgety tonight. I'm very fidgety. I don't know what's going on. I'm not comfortable in this chair. Maybe because I skipped last week. Don't tell anybody. It's Thanksgiving week. Week off for me, week off for you. Easy. I'm not wearing sweatpants right now. Don't listen to what anyone tells you. So another sip of black raspberry, then we'll get into it. Here we go. No, here we go. Here we go. So this Colorado Land's coveted Michelin guide, June. It happened all the way back in June. Dang, it's been a long time now. But I never talked about this on this channel. Wanted to talk about it for a few reasons. So first of all, what is the Michelin guide? I'm not going to go into the whole history of it, but it is a big deal. Some of these awards that are given out these days in any industry aren't that big a deal. The Michelin guide is like a huge deal in restaurants. You can get 1 to 3 stars. I don't know how many total restaurants in the world have 3 stars, but not that many. Even getting 1 star is a significant enough honor that it'll change the course of a restaurant's career, life, whatever. It'll sort of change the trajectory of whatever they're on. And it's a huge deal. James Beard Award is talked about along with the Michelin star. They give those things out like M&Ms. Who cares? James Beard Award. Who cares? James Beard nominee. It seems like every decent chef has got at least 1 nomination. So, but Michelin finally came to Colorado. Why had it not come to Colorado before? Well, because Colorado had not paid for it. That's another thing too. These guides don't just go to places. This guy doesn't just go to places. Places pay, and they pay a pretty penny. And we'll get into that to be considered for these honors. So it's really the tourism boards, the municipalities themselves have to pay to get these people to come and try their restaurant. So Colorado did. They ponied up, and parts of Colorado were, parts of Colorado were snubbed, and some folks were upset about that, because they feel like, hey, why didn't this restaurant get it? And you'll find out there's a very good reason why. And it is not necessarily the level of quality of that restaurant. It's something completely different. So before we get to this, there's actually wait. Oh yeah, no, this is the one. So sorry, this was in June. This is before everything was mentioned. But Michelin based in France. Yes, it's the same as the tire company. They initially started doing these when they were trying to sell tires, and they did a Michelin guide, places that are worth driving to. So you would drive more and buy more tires, apparently. I don't know. But it's kind of funny to me that it's the same company. But yeah, the Colorado Tourism Office is the one who headed this up. So Colorado will just become the 8th location in North America to earn its own Michelin guide. That's a big deal. Where are the other locations? California, Chicago, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Florida, New York, Toronto, Vancouver, and Washington, D.C. And us. That's it. That's it now. This is very exclusive. It's not just because you pay, but it's partially because you pay. But it's a big deal. So for me, what do I know about food? Not that much. I had a friend / client who we were having a conversation the other day, and he said, so we were just talking about food, and he goes, "You're kind of a foodie." And I didn't know how to respond to that. It's like being called a hipster, where even if you are one, you don't want to be called that. I don't know. But the truth is, I guess, I don't know. I enjoy good food. I enjoy dining out. I believe there's a time and a place for fine dining, which is like these places that are given the Michelin stars. I enjoy a taco truck just as much, a lot of the times more than a place with a white tablecloth. So that's me. I like it. That's it. And I'm not crazy. Not super pretentious, or at least I like to think so, but I'm into the dining scene. As you know, if you've watched this channel at all, that's one of my favorite things about living in a place is getting to know the restaurants and the food there, and the drinks and everything. It's enjoyable to me. So Axios Denver, great website, by the way, which is what we'll be reading from a lot this evening, says the guide cements Colorado's culinary scene as a top national and now international dining destination, which I agree. I have long said Colorado and Denver in particular's food is underrated. Some have disagreed with me. There's a coastal bias that's still present in this day and age, but I do. And this actually is a big deal and does cement Colorado as a dining hotspot. So this is just the preview article. And then again, down here, Colorado Restaurant Association President Sonia Riggs tells us, along with the James Beard nominations, the guide adds to the out-of-state recognition local spots are enjoying. That's nice. So what actually happened? Who actually won? This is from September. That's what I thought. It wasn't that long ago. I didn't miss that much. 5 Colorado restaurants earned Michelin stars. We will go through them here. Where were they? Denver, Boulder, and Aspen is where they were. So I won't. Here, we can make this a little bit bigger. Does that help? A little bit? Oh, God, my stuff's all over the place. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Just make sure no one's... Grant, what is up? And I do need to mention that one of the best places, not just for drinks and food in Denver, Williams and Graham in Lohi. Neither here nor there. It's just a thought that just came to my mind. So here are the places. They all got 1 star. Nobody got 2 stars. Let's not go crazy here. You know, Michelin, they did the right thing. Let's just start with 1 star. We don't need to give these out like James Beard Awards. Okay. So first of all, who won? Okay, Becken, Bossk, Bruto, Frasca, and the Wolf Taylor. So what are you going to find out of this list? When you look at this list, what is the first thing that comes to mind? That's a lot of pretentious restaurant names, right? It is. Look at this. Bruto. It's not even an O. It's got like what is this? Scandinavian? I don't know what this is. Bossk in Aspen. I mean, God, could that be any more perfect? A place called Bossk. A lot of these 1-2 syllable names, 1-word names, you know, it has become common in the fine dining fancy scene. But I have been to exactly, let's see, 0 of these places. And I'm a bit ashamed, not because I'm obsessed with fine dining or chasing a scene or anything like that, because some of these places have been on my list. And now, after winning the Michelin star, they're going to be much harder to get into because that's how these things work. So first of all, Frasca Food and Wine in Boulder. I'm going to start there. I lived in Boulder for years. Many of you know I talk about it a lot. Frasca has been widely regarded, well before any of this, as the best restaurant in Boulder, maybe the best restaurant in the Boulder, Denver metro, if that's even the same thing. I never went because I was poor when I lived there, and it seemed like too much to throw down whatever it was at the time, $100 on a meal. It's more than that now. I mean, look at these things. Look at this, what's on this menu. Apparently everybody gets a sommelier, like every guest gets one to talk about their wine pairing. So very fancy, very fine dining experience, but I don't think it's the most pretentious place on the list. I want to look at the menu real quick. Frasca. The Frasca Food and Wine Group runs Tavernetta, which is one of the best restaurants in Denver. Been there too. So you got the Quattro Piatti. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's basically a 4-course meal for $140. Not that bad, all things considered. If you look at some Michelin star restaurants like the French Laundry in California, it might have 3 stars. It's got 2 or 3 stars. It's like $800 a person for a meal. $140, not too bad. No, that's before booze, tax, and tip, but still. And you look at the menu. You're seeing some Italian, some pasta. You got the Yukon potato. You got the salmon. You got the Wagyu beef. Yeah, it's fine dining. Anyway, I got to go to Frasca. Haven't been. It is a point of shame for me. Then you got Becken. I've heard people rave about this place. Look at it. Sleek. It almost looks like that movie, The Menu. Looks like someone's going to get killed there. That's how trendy this place is. Becken. I mean, they're talking about a harvest moon, fall, looking forward to winter. What the hell is going on here? I love it. I love it. It's insane. And I love it. Dine with us. Do they have any reservations after this? Let's see if I can get in. If I want to get in December 14th at 8 p.m., can I get in? Becken has sold out all reservations. Try another party size or join the wait list. Look at this. Wait, I can get in the 5th. That's it. I can get in this Tuesday, December 5th at 8:30. $445 times 2, $445 per person for the truffle dinner. Oh, that's why it's their truffle dinner. $445 per person at Becken. Very fancy. Can't get in unless you're getting in for their truffle dinner. So that's another restaurant on the list. And then you have Bosque at Aspen, which look at this lovely place. Can we get a table in Bosque in Aspen? I want to go December 13th. We're just trying stuff. 9 p.m. No, I want to eat at a reasonable time. Look at this. They got openings. Not bad. Bosque at Aspen. Also won look at this guy's like harvesting down by the river. Also won a Michelin star. These are all the Michelin star restaurants. Duck liver mousse. I mean, this is pretty Aspen. Caviar bump. I love it. This is what you're seeing from the places that win Michelin stars. They do have something else called Bib Gourmand. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, where it's basically like, hey, normal restaurants will give some recognition to, which is cool. They did that here. I can't remember where. It was this whole list of places. I can't remember where it was that won. But the Michelin stars, this is really what people talk about. This is really the game changer. So you're seeing this is a typical Michelin star restaurant. Bruto, I haven't looked at either. But it's more of the same. I don't know. I would love to see a steakhouse on here personally. I don't know that we have one in Denver that should win, but a lot of this is fancy schmancy. If you're my mother, stuff from, fine dining, food and wine, expensive experiences, etc. Frasca I mentioned, and the Wolf's Tailor. This one I want to check out too. This place I've been meaning to go to for a while. They have huts. That's the thing, or little yurts. You can go, you can dine in a yurt outside the Wolf's Tailor. First of all, it's called Wolf's Tailor. That's badass. That's awesome. They're talking about sheep's attire and wolves. Where do I get the menu here? I don't get the menu. This place it's of all the places on here, I'd like to enjoy Wolf's Tailor. It's very expensive. It's probably $200 a person. I've heard before the booze and the tax and the tip. Can we get into Wolf's Tailor? I love trying this. Let's see here. Do they have a James Beard Award? They do. Best chef and pastry, James Beard. I knew they'd have one. I want to get in December 7th. That's next week. That's not that. I mean, that's if I can get in, that'd be impressive. 7:30, 2 guests. Yeah, I can get an indoor table at 5 p.m. Okay. 160 times 2. That's not too bad. What about the 19th? 6 p.m. But that one, outdoor, it's a tasting menu, $245. So it's going to be more expensive. What about on the 5th? Indoor. It must be indoors less expensive. Interesting. Anyhow, that's the Wolf's Tailor. These are the places, guys. If you're in Aspen, go to Bosque or don't. Do whatever you want. But a lot of B's on here. Becken or Bruto in Denver, Wolf's Tailor and Frasca. Frasca, I think I'm going to make the drive to Boulder sometime. It's probably worth the drive up there. It is, it's been around forever. That's what I like about it. A lot of these are newer. I don't know about Bosque, but a lot of the other ones are newer. Frasca's been around forever. And so what happened with why was Aurora not invited? Because that has actually been a point of conversation. So, 44 restaurants in Colorado were recognized by the guide, including Bib Gourmand, the budget-friendly restaurants. Let's take a look, see what made those real quick. AJ's Pit Barbecue, Ginger Pig, Hop Alley. Oh, okay, cool. Mr. Oso and Tavernetta. Wow, that's budget-friendly. Interesting. I bet they were pissed. I bet they wanted the star. But whatever. So that's the Bib Gourmand thing. They should have given one to like biker gyms. That would have been awesome. Biker gyms, dogs, they have rattlesnake. Would have been amazing. So Michelin was criticized for not including Aurora. We'll take a break while we consider that statement real quick. Okay, I'm back. As I've said before, folks, if you're just logging on, if you have any questions about this or anything real estate related or anything I ever talk about or anything beyond that, weigh in. Pop it in the chat and we'll talk. And I will address your question. So not including Aurora, a city with a diverse and award-winning cultural scene. Okay, I can go for that. Caroline Glover, chef at Annette in Aurora, told the Denver Post, I hope this diverse demographic eventually gets the recognition it deserves. Now, Annette I have been to. I think I went last year for my birthday. It was great. It was excellent. Was it the best meal I've ever had? No. Was it in the top 30? Probably. Actually, yes. It's in the Stanley Marketplace. So kind of weird for one of the better restaurants in town to be. Stanley Marketplace is cool, but it's a food hall right there in Aurora. But still, this is what we're doing this day and age with food. And so really that was the big sticking point with anyone, is that Annette was not even included in this because Aurora wasn't included. Why wasn't Aurora included? Is it because it's Aurora and there's an anti-Aurora bias throughout much of Denver? That's not why. That may be true, but that's not why. So here's the deal. 4 tourism boards, including Denver's, paid Michelin between $70,000 to $100,000 just to be considered for the guide. 4 tourism boards. So it was like Aspen, Denver, Boulder. I don't know who else did. But that's what was reported by the New York Times. Aurora's tourism agency declined to participate. Guys, you got to pay to play. But they didn't want to shell out $100,000. I don't blame them. For the chance at a star for one restaurant. If we're being real, like Mason's Dumpling Shop on Colfax, great spot. Not going to win a Michelin star. Annette could have, but they didn't pay. So in addition to that, the Colorado Tourism Office agreed to pay $135,000 annually for 3 years to promote the guide. So this is big money here. This is one of those things that you look at it and you go, well, I mean, does it really mean anything? Yes, it does. Still a big deal, but you got to pay to play. That's the way these things work because it takes money for people to go to a restaurant and eat. Apparently, it takes hundreds of thousands of dollars. No, it's the way it works. Any award, look at those ones behind me. They don't just give you those. They have you enter, and then they say, okay, great, you won. You go, yay. And they're like, how would you like to pay? Cash or card. So you're buying the award, basically. And it concludes here by saying it's common practice for tourism boards and hotel owners to pay for Michelin to accept money from sponsors for a chance to earn a star. So there you have it. Those are the Michelin starred restaurants in Denver now. Check them out if you want. Wolf's Taylor, Frasca, definitely on my list. Personally, if nothing else, they're beautiful. It's just, look at this photography. This is beautiful. I love Chef's Table. I don't know if you guys watch Chef's Table, but that's a great show. Neither here nor there. So that's enough of booking. And do we need to see anything else in here about, okay, the first guide will cover, these are the areas that paid. Yeah. Vail. So nothing in Vail won. Nothing in Snowmass won. Aspen won. Same thing. Interesting. So Vail got snubbed, even though they paid, even though they shelled out the cash. That must sting. Whew. Ooh, I would not like that. And also the rating is based on product quality, harmony of flavors, mastery of cooking techniques, how the chef's personality is reflected in the dish, and consistency between each visit. Interesting. So people went to these places multiple times as secret shoppers. That's how they do this. They don't announce themselves because they don't want the royal treatment that they do, but they're not supposed to get it. They just want to They just want to be in there as an average Joe. How does the average Joe get the experience at one of these restaurants? And then we'll decide whether you earn a star. So there you have it. Related to the dining scene, I wanted to transition to a different topic that is affecting Denver and downtown Denver. So this is the downtown. This is talking about Larimer Street and 16th Street Mall and the challenges they're having. And by the way, if you're just logging on and you have any questions or comments, weigh in the chat. I'm here for you. Listen, I beat up on 16th Street Mall a lot, so I'm not here to do that tonight. I am here to do that in general because it's a hellscape, but I'm not here to do that tonight. There are actually construction projects and revitalization projects happening at 16th Street Mall, so I am hopeful. I don't know that I'm super optimistic, but I'm hopeful that it'll turn into something better than what it's been. And that's possible. But this Axios article as well here is talking about 16th Street Mall, but also Larimer Square. And Larimer Square is what I want to focus on here as I take another sip of black raspberry. So this mentions the success of its top two tourist attractions will be the key to reviving the area, being downtown. I don't know if those are the top two areas in downtown, especially now with the Union Station area. That's kind of a big one. But Larimer Square was one of the first areas I fell in love with when I moved to Denver. Lived in Boulder for a while, and when I moved to Denver, Larimer Square really captured my heart. Just this nice little square. Now the fact that the street is closed off a lot of the time makes it even more charming. Some great restaurants, just a nice, it's got good shopping too if you're into that, but just a nice stretch of downtown. Feels good, it looks good, it tastes good. Everything about Larimer Square has just always warmed my heart and has been a major part. It's a small area, but I think it goes a long way in determining the experience people have in downtown Denver, downtown specifically. But Larimer Square has faced some challenges even before COVID and is changing quite a bit. So what's going on with Larimer Square? Well, Larimer Square has changed dramatically since North Carolina-based private equity firm Asana Partners bought the dining district in December 2020. So I guess that was during COVID, but it was early on. From its longtime owner, December 2020, early on COVID. That's funny. It's like right before the vaccine was rolled out. Remember that? It was 2 weeks to flatten the curve in like March, and then it just went on for years. It's still going on. COVID's not over. I know I'm not saying that. Just saying we're not having lockdowns anymore, God willing. So basically they're saying Asana has infused millions. You had this private equity firm came and bought in the whole block, bought it up. And they just wanted, no one really knew what they were going to do with it. Maybe they do nothing. Maybe they would just buy and hold. But Asana has infused millions to restore the block's crumbling facade. Okay, didn't really see that, but I trust you, Axios. But numerous established tenants have been pushed out due to intensive construction. Others have moved out on their own. Some cite tension with their new landlord over lack of communication and transparency about ongoing construction, as well as slumping sales from low foot traffic. So basically, there's all this construction happening. What's happening is that some businesses didn't agree with the direction or the vision and didn't think a lot of it needed to happen, and their foot traffic was suffering because construction was going on all the time. So Rob Horn, who owned a small business on the block since 2006, don't know which one, told Denver he has zero information about Asana's development plans. He's saying under previous ownership, he had a good relationship with them, and now I mail in a check. Like, they're an out-of-state investor. It's what's going to happen, good or bad. But, and then they go to talking about 16th Street Mall too. But they talk about the restaurants that have moved out on their own. Larimer, get out of here. Okay, no thanks. 9 News. All these pop-ups. My goodness, you make it tough to do a live stream while using your content. So this article is about Larimer Square losing another business. This was from May of this year. And Ted's Montana Grill is the latest business in Larimer Square to close. After 20 years, the restaurant closed its door on Monday. It's like that restaurant was there for 20 years on the corner, iconic spot. It's Ted's Montana Grill. Honestly, they make the worst Manhattan I've had in town. To be fair, as far as chains go, they're not bad. But are we really reeling by the loss of Ted's Montana Grill? No. I thought this article was going to take me to somewhere else. somewhere about Bistro Vendome. This is what I was going to talk about. They were located in the area and they moved to a new location in Park Hill. Bistro Vendome, yeah. Asana purchased Larimer Square in 2020. He's working on repairs to the infrastructure of the Sussex building, which is over 140 years old. Listen, you need to do repairs to infrastructure. I get that. But when a restaurant like Bistro Vendome, which is just a classic Denver restaurant, French, not overpriced, they had this awesome, iconic kind of location in Larimer Square. To me, it was the heart of Larimer Square, where they had this faux courtyard, inside outside situation. It was always great. Bistro Vendome was always there for you. And when a restaurant like that abruptly moves out from this location, which really isn't going to be recreated anywhere else, something's going on, that somebody wasn't willing to play ball. So I don't know what happened, but they moved to Park Hill. I haven't been to the new location yet. Great get for Park Hill. Humongous loss for Larimer Square. That's a big one. And Rob Horn opened Dog Savvy on Larimer Square in 2006. Interesting. I've never been there. Another business that moved out that was a huge bummer is the Green Russell. And they didn't move out. They just shut down. And they shut down in October. So in 2022, they shut down at the end of 2022. I remember that. Green Russell was awesome. It was a speakeasy downstairs, and it was just a beautiful big bar, a wonderful speakeasy, just an awesome vibe. Another part of the heart and soul of Larimer Square. But they closed after 12 years in business, which is an eternity in restaurant terms, I feel like. New Year's Eve was their last night in operation. And the couple told us, the owners told us they have no plans to resurrect it. And this I remember. So they're talking about the new owners. The new owners of historic Larimer Square, Asana Partners, will reimagine Green Russell as a boiler and maintenance room while they renovate the block for elevated office tenants, they wrote in a press statement. That is about as scathing as one can be in a press release. Holy crap. The shade there. They're basically saying these people have a different vision. These out-of-state investors have a different vision for Larimer Square. They need our spot for a boiler room, and they're renovating the block for elevated office tenants. I wonder how that's going, considering the commercial office vacancies in many downtowns, including Denver's downtown. I don't know. At least they're not making it condos. Yes, we need more housing, but people hate condos for some reason. I don't know. This is Larimer Square. You're looking at it right there. When you have a place like this to turn it into something bland and office-y, it's no fun. It's no good. So clearly the owners of the Green Russell were not happy about this either. Jacqueline told us they learned things were changing a few months ago when their lease was up. Originally, we were told there was permanent infrastructure, but more recently, we were told it was temporary for the construction because we've been invited to come back in 2 years when the work was done and renegotiate the lease. What? See, you're seeing what happens now. So they're saying, hey, we need this awesome speakeasy to turn into a boiler room temporarily, but come back in 2 years, we'll renegotiate. Not surprisingly, the owners said, no, I would have too. So basically, Larimer Square, let's see if the Axios has anything else about that. But yeah, Mayor Mike Johnson has pledged roughly $60 million in his 2024 budget to revitalize downtown, including direct support for businesses negatively affected by the construction on the mall. That's about 16th Street Mall. And basically, so the mayor is putting forth a lot of programs and money to revitalize downtown, to get people downtown, because we talked about this in a previous Tuesday Night Live. I don't think I was drinking on that one either, where, it was basically downtown struggling. A lot of downtowns are struggling, but Denver's downtown rebound hasn't happened as fast as many had hoped, hasn't happened as fast as I had thought it would and hoped. And so, you like to see the city officials putting some money towards it and making some initiatives towards it to try to get people back down there. And who knows what will happen with Larimer Square. Hopefully these folks aren't the big bad out-of-state investor, and that what they're actually doing is indeed to make it better in the long run. It's a huge bummer to lose the businesses that they have already, even Ted's Montana Grill. It's, and so we'll see what happens. But it is nice to see the city officials making it a priority, because the health of downtown goes a long way, I think, in determining the health of our city. It's a big part. So that is the scoop on that. If nobody else has any questions, or if you do have any questions, weigh in. Beyond that, What's coming up on the channel? What else do we got coming? Got a market update coming this Thursday, this week, Thursday. You may be watching this months later, but here at the end of November, talking about looking at people's predictions, basically best case and worst case predictions for the housing market for next year, for 2024. So that'll come out on Thursday. And then I may throw in a video on how to cook the perfect steak. At least my opinion on how to cook the perfect steak. I do. If you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, follow me on Instagram. There's a link on here somewhere. It's at Sam Newman Denver. But I do a lot of meat content. And that's one of my hobbies, is making steak, making barbecue, using the smoker, that type of stuff. I cook other stuff too, but that's my favorite. And I've put a lot of time and energy into making the perfect steak. And so I do have a video recorded. I recorded it as part of a home walkthrough, but it kind of got buried a long, long time ago. So I'm thinking about redoing that and releasing it as just a how to make the perfect steak video. Not really the same type of thing that we do on this channel a lot, but it should be fun. And that's what I look for. When I look at what we're doing, I try to go, will this be fun? Will this be entertaining? Will this be awesome? And if the answer is yes, then I like to do it if I can. Thank you, everybody, for logging on. Love you guys, and see you soon. And go to Bruto. Go tell me what that's all about. Weigh in. Bye.